All right, welcome back, everybody, to AJC and the Web Devs. We've got returning web dev Rizel. How you doing, Rizel?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
And you brought a friend with you this time, Ebony. How you doing, Ebony?
Hi, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, super happy to have you. Why don't you two both introduce yourselves? You can talk a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we can talk about what Block is.
Yeah. I don't mind going first. My name is Ebony Lewis. I'm a developer advocate at Block. I kind of had like a crazy journey into tech. I started going to school for speech and language pathology to be a speech therapist. Then I got into software engineering, loved it. Then I did technical community manager, and now I'm a developer advocate. That's kind of
Awesome.
my
Where
journey.
did you when you were first doing technical community management, where were you doing that at?
At Block. So I was being very
Okay.
strategic. I was like, I want to get into DevRel, but I don't have the experience. So I'm gonna like go in a different angle. So I was like, let me get a
That's a,
technical community manager role and then get promoted to the role that I want. So
yeah, I have a friend Scott who did technical community management at
yeah,
Edgeo. Rizal knows Scott, I think. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Scott,
I remember Scott. Oh my God, what a
Mhm.
throwback. Yeah.
Cool. You want to give a little blurb on yourself, Rizal?
Yeah, I feel it feels weird because I'm like, you already know me from GitHub and stuff like that. But yeah, I met you. I started similar to Ebony. We both went to the same coding boot camp, just at different times. And
Okay.
started off as a software engineer. Um, it was cool, but it wasn't maybe my favorite type of role. I was like, I really like developer advocacy more because it allows me to like use different strengths that I have. And then I started working at GitHub, and I met you through Brian, and you were working at, it starts with an S, I
Step
think.
Zen. Yeah.
Stepstone. Thank you. Yeah. I was gonna say Redwood JS, but I think you just contribute to, or I don't know. But yeah, I
Yeah.
met you through there, and I had a great time like working with GitHub Copilot and AI and stuff like that. And I wanted to explore some other like technology, see what else was out there. So I went to Block, and specifically their business unit called TBD, and I worked on Web5 a little bit. And they shifted to focusing on like just more open source projects, including Goose, which is like an open source AI agent. So I've moved over there since. Yeah, that's basically it.
that was a good little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna ask if we're in Web 6 yet, or if we're gonna go like skip 2 this time, go straight to Web 8.
We're like Web 10 at this point.
Right.
Getting more secure and more secure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and y'all were on, or maybe it was just Ebony, were on Nick's Premiere stream, right?
Yes, I was on that. That was fun.
Awesome. Yeah, Nick is a super good homie of mine. So I saw that you had done that, and I was like, oh, Goose, that's I'm about to do a stream on that. So uh let's talk about what is Block before we talk about what is Goose, because Block is kind of confusing, even to me as someone who is into Web3 and into crypto kind of stuff. I always kind of had a hard time placing how do I explain Block, because it does a bunch of stuff, and it's something they've also pivoted now. So how do you explain Block in 2025?
I'm gonna let Rizel take this one away. I feel like you'll
Okay,
have
cool. I was like, however you want to go. Yeah, I would I would describe it. I'm sure Ebony has more to add, but I would describe it as like a company of like multiple companies. Similar to how like Microsoft owns GitHub and then like Microsoft's the parent company. Block is like this parent company of Square and Cash App and what else do we have? Tidal.
Afterpay.
Afterpay, yeah, all these different cool like organizations that you probably use in your day to day that help with like financial empowerment in different types of ways, right? And Block itself, we do different, like we build different technologies all in support of Square and Cash App and all that. So, and build like we have an open source project called Hermit, which is like a package manager type of thing or a runtime management type of thing, and then Goose is our open source like AI tool that's helping these companies kind of speed up productivity or accelerate productivity. And then we're also like, why not open source it to the rest of our community and not just hold that in for ourselves? So like Block's this parent that's like enabling Square, Cash App, and to Afterpay and Tidal to do their best work.
I feel so dumb right now. I
Oh.
didn't know Block was Square. Like I know it's Square. It's like Square's Jack Dorsey's company. Like I know what that is. I had no idea they changed the name to Block, and this entire time Block was just Square.
No, it's the thing. There's so many people that share that same sentiment where they're like, wait, what is it? And I'm like, oh, Square. They're like, oh yeah, I know that.
That is so funny.
Yeah, you're not dumb. Even me, I was confused at first. Like I was like Squarespace. Like I was confused.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember hearing about Square back in the day because I first got into crypto in like the mid 2010s, and just Jack Dorsey was like very early to crypto, and he has a unique kind of place in it. Some people think he's Satoshi Nakamoto actually, and there's a pretty good case to be made for that. Honestly, I don't know if you guys have read that.
No,
I've seen people say that, but I don't know. I don't want to make any claims.
A square in 3D is a cube or a block.
That's
Smart. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So then why Goose? Why did they make like an open source AI thing?
Yeah, I feel like Rizel kind of touched on that a little bit. So when it came to Goose, it started internally, like a small dev team created Goose, and they realized like, wait, this is actually speeding up productivity and it's really powerful and useful. And then other teams throughout Block started using it. And then we decided we wanted to open it up and make it open source so that other people outside of Block can also get the power of Goose. So that's kind of how a diamond.
So is it an agent thing? That's kind of
Yes.
like what I've been led to believe.
It is. It's an AI agent.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. So what problem was it built to solve specifically?
So, go ahead, Ebony. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, it solves so many problems. Like, there really is not one specific problem that it was built to solve, but it's just the power that it has, that it's able to speed up productivity in different workflows. Like, you could be a non-engineer or you could be an engineer and it could speed up your workflow. But I'm sure Rizel might have a little bit more to spring on.
Yeah, I got stuff to add. I thought that was good, but I think initially, I don't. I hope I have this right. But what I heard when it first came out, Bradley Axon, who works at Block, he made it, and I think teams within Block were using it to help them do like code migrations. And then like they just started to add more and more on it. And like Ebony said, it's become more of even a general purpose. Like it's a developer agent, but it's become even more general purpose where like people who are on like the legal team are using it, or like different business teams, they're like using it as for a PDF reader, like because I don't know if you've heard of Model Context Protocol. Probably have, right? People have been talking about it a lot.
Yeah, we did. Dev and I did a stream on it about a month ago.
Awesome. Yeah, because it's an AI agent that leverages MCP. You can basically plug in any MCP server to it, and then you can really automate anything, right? If you have a Blue Sky MCP server, if you have a I don't know, a GitHub MCP server, whatever it is, you could plug it in and it'll like automate or help you to automate those processes.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's really cool. And I think this is a good example of something where with AI, I find that a lot of devs are using it to solve their own problems, and then they do it in a way where it's just so useful that it becomes like a bigger kind of broader tool. That's basically what happened with me and Auto Show. And we should define the term agent. I think it's it's one of those terms that now people have a sense of what it means just because they've used something and they've been told it's an agent, but it's hard to like give a concrete definition to. So either you want to tackle that one.
Defining what an agent is. Now I'm like, who's an agent? I feel like I've never actually been asked that specific question. I
like definitions. It's a thing I always ask anytime we're doing anything. I'm like, so what is the thing you're talking about? What's the word mean?
Yeah, so an agent is essentially something that can perform tasks on your behalf. I hope that's like clear enough.
That's great, actually. I love that. That's such a better, simpler definition than what anyone else has ever given me.
Okay. Would you add more, Rizel?
No, I think that was it. Like software that does tasks on your behalf.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, no, I love that. The way I would describe it, this is more of a technical definition, but
Mm.
I think of it as a for loop on an LLM. Basically, like it does a task and then it gets it gives some sort of input, gets some sort of output back, and then the output becomes the input to the next step. And that's what makes it a really unique thing because it's an LLM and it has the ability to kind of take in language. You could basically just keep feeding it back into itself, and as long as it has a way of detecting the error, it can fix it. And if it has the ability to reach out to enact whatever the error fix is, it can do that.
I think that is the power with AI agents, their ability to detect the errors and work through their own errors. And obviously there'll come some point where they do have to like tell the user, this is an error we can't get through, but most times it's able to self-correct with the LLM. So that is a really good explanation as well.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, cool. So that was about 10 minutes of intro. Do you want me to put your no, that's good. That was perfect. So you guys are killing it. Don't worry. So do you want me to put your screen up, Rizel? We can start getting into like some code examples. Yeah.
Sure, we can do something. I don't have what happened?
You like a little tour of Goose.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't have a prompt yet in mind. Like we can go over stuff, but basically you land here. So we have a CLI tool, which I can show you as well, but we also have a desktop app. I like to show that more just because it's like more visual, easier to follow. Yeah. And of course, when you start here, it has like a couple of like, if you're like, I don't know how to use Goose, what do I do? Just a couple of like demo stuff if you wanted to try that. So if I want to click make a snake game in a new folder, it'll go ahead and do that for me. At the bottom here, you'll see that you can bring your own LLM. So you'll have like a model and a provider that's connected to it. So right now I like using Claude 3.5 Sonnet with Goose. We've done benchmarks and we saw that performs the best, but you can really bring in anything from O3, GPT-4o. You can even bring in like a local model. However, the local models, the strength, like is just not there. You need like a really powerful computer, right? Yeah. And then a couple of other things.
Real quick, I found that interesting that 3.5 is better than 3.7 for Claude.
And we were excited about 3.7. But when we got it, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. What do you think, Ebony?
No, I agree. I feel like 3.5 so far has been the smoothest experience for me with like tool calling and stuff.
Okay. I'm already on 4, so I've moved beyond the debate, thankfully.
I'm beyond that. Okay.
It looks like you do have 4 on here as well.
4. I actually haven't clicked it yet. I just like 3.5 so much, but I do experiment. We can compare.
No, I totally feel that though. I'm the same way with, using a model. It's such a weird kind of subjective, but not entirely subjective thing because, some are legit better, but some people like just enjoy talking to more. Like Claude talks to you more like a person than ChatGPT. But I find that I get more consistency out of ChatGPT. But for me, I really like being able to just use both and bounce between the two. Like I usually have like 3 tabs open with just different LLMs. And sometimes I'll feed the responses into each other. I'll have like one give an answer, and then I'll have another one will give an answer, and I'll give that answer to the other one and be like, hey, look at this implementation plan versus yours, include any steps you missed that are in here, kind of thing.
I like that.
They will think of things that the other ones won't, or they'll solve problems in slightly different ways from the other ones.
I've never like done that workflow, like having different ones up and asking questions and giving those answers to the other one. That's pretty dope. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, and this is stuff you can program into agent workflows as well. And it looks like Goose supports all the main providers.
Yeah. You literally can like bring a lot of what. Let me show you what you provide.
And then
also, when you first had this up, I thought this was Warp, not Goose.
Oh no, this is Goose. Don't get us confused.
Okay. It has a very similar terminal looking interface, like very, very so, which is good. I love Warp, so it's a compliment.
Yeah, these are some of the ones right now that we have for providers, but it's also if there's a provider that you want that's not there, you can open a GitHub issue.
Yeah.
Add it too.
Yeah. I can. I got stuck in here. Hold on. I'm just going to close it and I'll reopen.
I wanted to show the prompt.
Yeah, I
Also,
wanted to.
what's
I
a
think
link in
launch.
terms of where would you download the desktop app? Actually, I think I might have just.
Block,
Sorry, I just answered my own question here.
Oh, you have the link? Okay.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, everything is at block.github.io is the doc page.
Landing page. You can install it straight there. Does it that work? Okay, let's see. What did Goose do?
Yeah, I was trying to resume the session and you know how it opens a new window. Here we go. All right. So it told me it created it and
You actually bump your font up a couple.
there we go. Thank you. It created the file, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this, and it told me like just go ahead and like install the requirements and run the game. This is really simple, so we can do something a little bit more complicated afterwards, but let's see.
I think it might be cool to give the same prompt to Claude 3.4
Let's see what it turns out. Yeah,
and see how it
do that. I'm gonna put it side by side. Let me run the same prompt and open another session. That's the only thing, having all these sessions opened.
when sharing.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. So you guys want to try for Opus or for Sonnet?
Opus.
Okay.
That's the state of the art.
Cool. I'm gonna press enter. Go ahead. Let's see if it's the same results or not. And then in the meantime, I am going to open this file to see what we got. Open, and I'm gonna go ahead. We can see. Sorry, guys. All these windows. I'll make this
fine.
We can see that we have like this file that it made in here, and we're gonna go ahead and do like pip install requirements like it told us to do. So I think it's
if you could get your Python dependencies installed, then it's definitely smarter than most people.
Oop, I don't have pip.
Pip3.
Pip3, thank you. Install our requirements. I can just copy and paste it. While that's happening, then let's check the other one. I'll exit this. Where was Claude Opus 4? Temporarily unavailable.
Yeah, rate limited. Yeah, this is an issue with Claude more so than ChatGPT also.
Dang.
Some is written up with Bedrock.
Yeah. Maybe Claude Force on it we can try. That sucks. I wonder if
did I lose service?
Oh, did you?
Yeah. All started loading.
There's just a slight lag. It'll happen sometimes. StreamYard is usually pretty good, but every now and then you'll get just a little bit of lag. It's unavoidable.
I'm like, where'd everybody go? All your faces were just little loading.
I could also tell Goose.
I would tell it to write JavaScript like a normal programmer.
I know, right? But let me tell you, I don't write Python.
Love Python, I feel like. Or at least loves Python.
Yeah,
the
LLM loves it.
Dev.
Hey, Dev. Yeah, I normally tell it to use Python because I'm like, not Python, JavaScript. But we're already this far, so I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a kind of custom prompt where I explain that I always want like Node.js, TypeScript, not JavaScript. Use the most common or most recent version of Node, no semicolons, like a whole set of things. I kind of tell like use ESM imports, not require. Yeah. And so I just always drop that at the beginning of any session, or you can do it as like a custom instruction as well. So that it'll always know kind of by default that I'm going to want it to write just in a modern TypeScript-y kind of way. And that usually gets me exactly what I'm looking for.
That's the cool thing about, I think I maybe need to update my Goose or something like that. But that's the cool thing about Goose, you know how, I don't know, you've used cursor before, right?
Yeah,
Where it has
cursor rules. Yeah. That's what I
Yeah,
was
we have
thinking,
a
yeah.
similar thing, which is like Goose hints.
Hint.
But
Well, you can do everything you were just talking about.
yeah,
Isn't that free?
yeah. Let's see. But let's try the Node.js one, and we can try like a different prompt instead. So that'll be more interesting, and we can actually see the results. I want to see if we can have it. Oh, actually, the Python game just popped up randomly and then closed.
Hey, I just saw it literally for a split second.
I think Goose just ran it. Yeah, it said I'll help you create it. It's happening in the background. It's like installing Py game.
Like, I wrote it. I want to play it. Let's play it, guys. Let's play.
It tested it and then it just closed it. All right, cool. So it's telling me how.
It's probably trying to verify that the game worked.
Yeah. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you guys, but it told me how to do it now. So it looks like in comparison, 3.5 didn't test it and run it all for me, but Cloud Sonnet 4 did all of that for me. So let's try it out now.
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna open this again. It's all these windows, like, come on. Okay, hold on. Terminal open. Alrighty.
So Goose doesn't have a way to integrate with Cursor, because I just saw that you could use like Claude Code and Cursor together. I feel like Goose and Claude or Code Goose and Cursor you could probably use together in a similar way.
I haven't seen it, but it does have a way for VS Code. Like, I'll show you.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking. That's because you're not right now. You have a window that's separate from your editor, which is what's creating this kind of back and forth.
Yeah, which is kind of annoying. But with VS Code, it does. It's just this extension is more experimental, so I didn't want to show it off.
I see. Okay.
But yeah, with VS Code, you can.
I mean, that's probably right up your alley, though. A VS Code plugin.
Right. Yeah. But let me see. Since it's already here, maybe I could try to open it up. Let's see. Open.
Yeah, this is an interesting dichotomy I've been noticing over the last years. Is kind of like terminal native AI tools versus IDE editor type tools, and how they're kind of starting to merge, but they're still separate. And some people like one more than the other. And it kind of depends on if you're just like a terminal person in general versus more of an editor person in general. It's interesting.
Yeah, I do think that is interesting. And I guess that's why because we started off with a terminal for.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very obvious. Yeah, it looks like, that's why I thought it was a term. It literally just looks like a terminal when you start with it open.
Yeah. And then everyone was like, some people were like, I really, really, really want. This is cool though. It made a script for me. I just realized like it made the setup script for me. And then it has like a script to run the game. So now I'm not like, oh, let me do like pip. That's that I was like struggling with before. So you guys, I might just start using Claude 4.
Yeah, that experience.
Yeah, I mean, there was a vibe argument about 3.7 versus 3.5. 4 is quite obviously better. Like when they do the full number bump, they feel very confident that they're like, you guys are gonna want to use this one.
Right.
I'm using it now.
What did you say?
Let's start using it and see what happens.
Right. I was just so connected emotionally to 3.5.
Like whether it's a tool or whatever, you just get like, I'm like, this is one works. I don't want to shake up. Like this is perfect. This is all I need.
Yeah.
Experiment.
Exactly. But we can do more things with Goose. Yeah. We don't have to just build developer things. One demo I have that's not going to go great here, so I'm not going to show it because I've tried before. But the computer controller, yeah, because I think it just shows that like, oh, because this is like a local application, it can control like your device locally. So I've had it like open Safari and go to YouTube, grab some classical music and then do some web research and then put the findings in a Excel sheet for me, all in like just one prompt. It just does it in one shot prompt. And like I think that's cool, except it's hard to demo because it'll like open the browser on like one monitor and I'm trying to drag it over, and it'll like dim the brightness and increase the brightness or the volume for me and stuff like that. So that one's cool, but hard to show.
I think it's super cool. When you wrote the guide on it, I was like, this is dope. I would have never thought to have Goose like kind of create a little vibe for me. Basically in it, she had Goose create like a decompressing vibe while I was doing research for her. And I'm like, I like that. Play some classical music, dim the light, well, the brightness.
Yeah. I could do, thank you so much. Yeah, I could do like lots of things. I could have a like, I don't know if we want to show like I can send.
Let's do the image generator one.
Google Calendar. Oh, what?
Let's do the image generator
one.
Image
generator. Oh, what do you want to generate?
I'm always curious about trying to generate like something for like a like a blog cover, like a YouTube thumbnail or something like that. Because I find that's actually pretty challenging. So why don't we try and create a YouTube thumbnail?
Okay, let's create I don't know if you guys can see this in it or any.
Yeah.
A YouTube.
Let's just do it for this episode.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Thumbnail for.
And now we
have your show. What happened?
We have to actually use it, whether we like it or not.
Right.
You already committed, Anthony.
That's the challenge.
Let's just grab the main title for the specific video. So Goose with Rizel, Scarlett, and Ebony Lewis. Just do that.
Rizel, Scarlett. You don't want to name the name of your show? And Ebony.
You could just put like in parentheses AJC in the web devs.
Okay.
How did you come up with your name, Anthony?
AJC.
So AJC are my initials, Anthony Joseph Campolo. That was partly inspired by Tom Preston Werner. He was the creator of GitHub and Redwood.js. His blog was always TPW, Tom Preston Werner. And I needed a handle when I was like first getting into web dev because I had, old, social accounts from, just when I was, a person who had social accounts, but I didn't have like a specific handle that was like unique to me. And so I came up with AJC Web Dev just because it was unique. And so I could get that exact handle on every single site. I've never had an issue with that. And I always have the exact /URL AJC Web Dev. And that then turned into the name for the show because when I created the show, I needed a name. My friend Ben Myers was like, well, you got to call it AJC and the Web Devs. And I'm like, that is perfect. Oh my God.
It really is. It's like it's a perfect name. I don't even have like a handle. Like mine is just ebony.lewis. But I was like, I gotta come up with something cool. Like everyone has like these cool, like roll off your tongue kind of handles because AJC and the Web Dev sounds nice.
Yeah, that does sound nice.
Yeah, I gotta think of something.
I definitely encourage you to come up with a nice,
something for your brand
handle.
Yeah. It's so hard. I feel like naming things are hard when it comes to products, anything. Like the naming is just the hardest part.
Yeah, band names. Naming the band is always the hardest part.
Yeah, like they have whole companies for this actually, just on naming things.
That's true. We got it, guys.
What is it gonna look like? We need a drum roll.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, that's what I expect. That seems about par for the course, so it's not good, but it's almost a
sometimes. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you. So I run this live stream called The Great Goose Off, where I like have two people like verse each other and like prompt Goose, right? And I had them like create a food delivery app, but like one where you don't like all the restaurants you wouldn't want to order from. Like it's like creepy, disgusting foods or like expired. And they like some of the people they like generated images that were like so detailed and cool looking, like a burger that was really gross looking. So sometimes it's really good, but you just have to be like super, super detailed. Yeah. Like the contestants, they were like typing forever, and I was kind of like, wrap it up. It's time.
That sounds super fun. I'm gonna check that stream out.
Yeah,
they were a lot of fun. The great Goose.
I didn't put enough effort into my prompt. That should have went hard.
So can we modify the current image we have? Can we give feedback and have it generate a new one based off of it? Can you feed the image back into itself?
Let's see. I actually never did that. I don't use this image generator one that much because I'm not like into generated AI art like that. But like that is a good question. Let's say, could we iterate on this image? How y'all want to make it? What do you want to change? I don't even know what to do with the image.
Well, the first thing I do is let's just try fixing it so it actually like has all the text on screen as widescreen. So I'd say make sure it's widescreen and make sure none of the text is cut off. Give it that feedback first.
Size for a YouTube thumbnail, like wasn't the right dimensions.
Ooh,
that's what I'm saying. When I say make it wide, that's the dimensions
for a YouTube thumbnail, and don't cut off the words. Let's see.
How do you see what the underlying image model is that you're using right now?
I think this is like an in-house made thing, so I'm not sure if I'm able to reveal that.
Interesting.
Yeah, we have so Block. We have like there are MCP servers out there from the community, but because we're like a fintech, we have some of our own in-house built MCP servers. Because of like all these like different like laws and PII. So I don't know. I'm using a particular one for Block, and I don't know if I should reveal that.
I'm excited to see what it changes.
Yeah, I hope it keeps the same one.
I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah, I do resize my so you guys know when you like submit your talk to a conference on Sessionize, and then sometimes it's like the image is not the right size. I do have Goose resize it for me because I get stressed out when I'm like, I don't know what like the dimensions are. Like that's not my type of thing, and it leaves my in. Yeah.
Easy. The way I always, this is stupid, but the way I figure out what an image's dimensions are, I'll open it in preview and then go to adjust size, and then it'll pop up with the width and the length.
Why did I never do that?
You can also just open it in a Finder, and if you have the right side window open in Finder, when you look at files, it will show you the information there along with like the size of it as well.
That's a good point.
Dev said this happens to me every single time.
Right. It's like so annoying. I'm like, why do you guys always want like a different size than I already gave you? Let me see if it gave me. It didn't give me the path. So let's see if I'm going to search for it. Let's see if we can get the new one. What is it called? YouTube thumbnail fixed. .png. It's still cut off.
Let me see.
It's not the same thing.
Oh, let me see it.
I'm not happy.
This is probably why I was asking what the image model is, because image models have only very, very recently, I would say with the newest ChatGPT image model, are good at following specific instructions like that. Yeah. All the image providers started out as being something where you would describe a scene, it would create you something like really lush and intricate and like artistic looking, and it wasn't like you could tell it exactly what to do in a highly specific way, like creating a thumbnail, and it would be able to follow that. Like the ChatGPT image, like Dolly couldn't even spell words correctly, you know? So this is better than that. But things like it being cut off, that's hard for some of them. So that's why it's kind of important what the underlying model is for the user to know.
Right. At least, yeah. Sometimes it used to generate images, not Goose, but like AI, and it would make me itch. At least some of these aren't making me itch. I don't know if that ever happened to you guys.
I like makes you itch.
It's like
so scary to look at.
Yeah. Like I'm like, oh, like the sixth finger. Like I don't want to see it.
Uncanny Valley. Yeah.
Yeah. But
first one was really, really cute. I wish it stuck with it.
I know it was cute. I like that one best. Let me bring it back up.
So we could just stare at it.
Because the little goose, it's like, hey.
Yeah, it's cuter for sure.
That is perfect. The outline of the goose too, the little mic. Gotten like a little intro into Goose. Are there any like questions or?
Yeah, sure. So
wish that we show it.
What do y'all use it for in your own day-to-day stuff?
Ooh, I let Ebony talk because I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, I use it for different things. So I've been helping a lot like internally with other teams. So I've been using it to kind of brainstorm sometimes. Like say another team wants to know like how could I use Goose to do X, Y, and Z? And I always start with just ask Goose. But then they're like, what do you mean? Ask Goose how? And I'm like, let me show you. And then we'll come up with like a plan together. So I use it in that way. I also use the Google Drive extension. So I'll like have Goose like create different like docs and things for me. I've just tested out using the Google Calendar one where it will make meetings, and that's pretty cool. It's a little like it's really
That's
cool.
tight.
Yeah.
I've tried ChatGPT's operator. It can do the same thing, but it's like a whole drag and drop interface, and you like watch it move the mouse. It takes a
Ooh.
long time, but so it has connections to things like Docs and Calendar. So are there other integrations you use?
Yeah, and then there's also Glean if you scroll up a little bit. That one I've been using. That's like internal for us, but it basically makes Goose an expert on all of our like internal knowledge. Like, say you want to like host an event or something at like a block space or something, you can literally ask it like, hey, I'm trying to host this event. Who do I need to contact? What's the protocol? And it knows everything. Or you want to know about your stocks or something.
So it has a RAG system trained on all of Block's data.
Pretty much. It's really cool. So those are the ones I like. I also love using the memory extension. So like I built an MCP server, the Afterpay one. It's not public yet. Hopefully it will be soon. But like say if I was doing a session with Goose and I had to like stop for the night, I would say, okay, remember what we did that worked? Remember what we did that didn't work? Create a little checklist for tomorrow. And then I'd be able to just pick up on a new session and it would just kind of have that little starting point for me. So that was really cool. Yeah, those are pretty much what I use Goose for.
Okay, I actually have a specific question for you, Ebony. That's kind of adjacent to this. How has AI helped you as a junior engineer?
Ooh, I think that's a good question. I feel like it's helped me a lot. I know when I like outside of like Block, just in general, when I think about AI now, I think back to when I first started as like just a software engineer. I'm like the amount of effort I put into Googling, trying to find like different answers, being on Stack Overflow and stuff like that. I'm like, I wish ChatGPT and these things were here then. That would have saved me so much debugging.
Oh my God. I know. I identify with that so hard.
Crazy. I'm like, the engineers now have it obviously not easy. You still have to know all your knowledge and all that.
They have it easy. They got it easy as hell.
The pain of Googling, opening all these articles. Like, you don't have to deal with that at all. I'm jealous. But it helped in that sense. It also helps me when I'm thinking of like different like titles. Sometimes the titles aren't that great, but when it comes to different live streams I'm having, I'll do like content strategy debugging with it. That helps me. Yeah, AI is literally like I use AI all the time, even outside of work.
Yeah, man. Same. I really like just dialoguing with it and like asking questions and just like learning about different topics. Sometimes not even technical. I have like long, ridiculous historical threads I go on, you know.
Same. And I'm trying to like get more active on get more active on TikTok. I'm like, create me a strategy where I'm gonna be a TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
It has like this whole plan for me. I'm like, yep, I'll make that video tomorrow. It's like I use AI for literally everything now. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got my wife into AI. She was a Yale, right? Like she went to Yale and studied like English. So she was someone who when ChatGPT came out, she was like, AI writing. How could it ever write? And I was like, okay, just give it a try. And now she loves it. She uses it for work. She uses it to cook. She uses it for all sorts of stuff.
Wow. You got to give me the tips because I do have people that are like my friend's a professor and she's like, I hate AI. All the students just submit AI papers. She's like, I can't believe you work with it. I'm like,
here's the way to get her. Tell her that, you could have AI read their papers and give you a first draft grade.
Ooh,
they're writing the papers. It can also grade the papers.
I love that actually.
This is I got that from. Do you guys watch South Park at all?
Park? No.
Yeah, so South Park, the TV show.
Oh, South Park. Yeah.
Here and there.
Yeah. So even if you don't like the show very much, you should watch the ChatGPT episode in particular. They have a really funny episode about ChatGPT. It's about two different things. One is about Stan and Wendy. They're kind of like the main, couple in the show. Wendy's mad at Stan because Clyde is sending all these really nice messages to his girlfriend, and Stan only thumbs up her texts all the time. He never responds, whereas like her friends getting these long, like amazing romantic messages. And so Stan goes up to Clyde and he's like, "How you do it, man?" He's like, "ChatGPT, bro." So he starts using ChatGPT to respond to all of his girlfriend's texts. And then Mr. Garrison, the teacher, he's like, "Man, all the kids, they've all of a sudden started writing these really long, intricate, amazing essays. I don't know what's going on, but it takes me so long to grade them now." And his partner's like, "Have you heard about ChatGPT?" And he's like, "No." And he looks at it, he's like, "Oh my God, I could use this to grade the papers." He hasn't put it together that they're using it to write the papers. He just is like, "Oh, I can use this to grade the papers."
That's funny. Oh, that's smart. That's really smart though, to use it to grade.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Sophie, you got the event created?
Yeah, I did.
And
Yeah, I did. But I was curious why it moved it. Oh, let me see. Because I told it to do like 3:30 to Ebony Lewis.
let me see.
And it says since I didn't specify an end time, I'll set it for an hour. Oh, until 4:30. Okay.
4:30.
But then it did this. It did
Oh,
4:30 to 5:30. The system adjusted the time zone.
What's up, learner? Thanks for joining.
Hey, learner. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, they popped into my stream yesterday too.
Aw.
Oh, yeah. I put it to 4:30 to 5:30.
Yeah, you got it too. Yeah, I don't know why.
So is it
Maybe
actually on your calendar though? Like if you went to your Google
I'll
calendar,
put my
it's-
calendar up. Hopefully
Yeah.
there's nothing personal, but I don't think so.
So when you first, installed Goose and everything, you probably gave it your Gmail and had to like connect it and go through like a process with that, right?
It was like a quick OAuth. I think.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. It like we installed it and then it just opened it up and it's like log in and then that
Yeah,
was
I
it.
wonder because I use Notion Calendar,
Yeah.
which kind of has like either Proton Calendar or Google Calendar on the back end. It's really confusing. My calendar life is a total mess because I don't want to just use Google Calendar because I don't use Google products. Like I've tried to remove Google from my life. It's literally impossible, by the way.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I want to do it. It's the fact that it isn't possible. It makes me mad, but it's really hard to get away from. So I'd be curious how it would work if I tried to do it with like my Notion calendar.
Yeah, maybe if there's a Notion calendar
I was about to
MCP
look that up.
survey. Yeah.
Yeah, there probably is not, I would guess.
There might be.
There'll be a
Okay.
Notion integration, I bet. Just
And
straight
they're
up
not-
Notion.
Yeah, they're not hard to I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say they're not hard to build. Ebony built one. So she would be able to tell you.
Yeah, there's a
Maybe.
Notion MCP, but not a Notion calendar. But it probably has the tool to access the calendar, maybe.
Yeah.
Let me read and see what it has.
I could tell you while she's looking, I could tell you the stuff I do with Goose in my day
Yeah.
to day. Yeah. So our team does a lot of documentation and people cringe when I say I use AI for documentation, but we have to document Goose. The features, the releases happen so fast for this. Like it's like weekly and they have like a ton of them. And then we have other stuff to do like these podcasts. So I'll just literally have Goose open up the Goose repository and I'll be like, tell me how this feature works. And then I'll start writing like documentation on it. And then I'll be like, am I missing anything? Follow this format, stuff like that. And then I wrote a blog post recently about, this is really dumb, but I use it to like close like local host servers or like kill the ports because I have a problem with like having a million open. Like I'll be at like 3005 and I'm like, I can't find it. I don't know what like process it's on. I'm tired of like.
Okay, you need to get open ports, by the way. Like
What's
Google
that?
open ports right now and get it on your Mac. It's gonna change your life. Trust me. It's just it's like a little menu thing where you can click it on the top of your menu and it'll show you everything running on all your ports. It's the best thing ever. But yeah, I like what you're saying about killing ports. For me, any sort of small terminal action that does something in your computer, like Linux commands, all sorts of stuff. Like AI has helped with that for me so much.
Right. I can't find the but is it You Get Signal port checker?
So do open ports Mac OS app. Try that. Yeah, open ports for Mac OS. That's what you want.
Get the app.
Yeah, I love this app. It's really good. You can see there in the preview, it shows you exactly what you're gonna get. It's very simple.
I need this because I mean, Goose has been great. I just kill all the open port, like the open Node.js ports or whatever, and then it does it.
Yeah, and this, you can kill ports through this as well. When you drag it, when you open them up, it shows you what's running. You can then just click it and say kill this port.
Perfect. That's much easier. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I just discovered that a couple of months ago. I was like, this is baller.
Right. But yeah, I think I do similar to you. Anything that's like a command that I'm like, I don't run this every day, so I don't remember it, and I'm lazy to Google.
Or quick like regex stuff. Like if you want to do a quick regex, it's really great for that.
Yeah, and then even the calendar thing. My plan is because I have to send out a couple of calendar invites to our team for our our Discord support and Slack rotation. I'm about to ask Goose to just do that. I'm about to just say give Ebony all the Mondays and Ace all the I'm so lazy now. I notice sometimes I Google something and I'm in my head, I'm like, why didn't Google just do it for me? My brain is
Dude, I don't even Google things anymore. I go to ChatGPT first for everything now.
Yeah, I don't anymore. I really go to ChatGPT too. I feel like it's crazy because we're so as a society, we're so impatient, and now it's just getting worse and worse with all this new technology. Why didn't Google just do it? It's crazy. It's so real. I'll give ChatGPT something long that I don't want to read. I'm like, can you summarize this? It'll give me a paragraph. I'm like, can I get a sentence? I just
I don't want to do all this. Oh my God, I do that so bad. So I already use Gemini Notes, and then I'll give Goose Gemini Notes, and I'm like, can you tell me what we said about this particular thing? Because I don't want to read the notes.
No, literally. I'm like, I don't want to read this, please.
Google gets paid to know exactly what we want to see. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Dev, for justifying it.
Yeah, it's literally their one job.
Oh my goodness.
That's great. No, I love this. I love how much you two have really adopted AI just within your own lives and workflows. Because this is what I was telling. I was telling this to so many people in 2023. Because ChatGPT came out in November 2022. So the year of 2023 is what I think it was the first year of this being a thing and widespread skepticism across my entire social network, across everyone I knew personally. Almost no one that I knew on the day when ChatGPT came out were like, ChatGPT, amazing, this is gonna change my life. They're all like, what is it? Why does anyone care? Why are you telling me about it? This sounds bad. And then it took me a year of having to constantly say, no, this is cool. Look, you can do this. No, this is cool. Look, you can do this. And having that conversation over and over and over with every single person in my life. And so, except my dad, the most boomer person in my entire life, instantly was like, ChatGPT, this is cool. I can talk to it about movies and shit. And I'm like, yeah, my dad gets it. Why can't you get it?
I love that.
That's funny that your dad was the one to pick it up.
Yeah, he was the first person of anyone I know in my life or social network who naturally just got it and started playing around with it and had fun and thought it was cool and useful. And my dad has always been hip to tech. He was the reason why there was a computer in my house when I was born in the early 90s. We had a computer from as long as I could remember. So we had one probably at least in the 93, 94, somewhere around there. So yeah, must feel familiar for a Web3 frog. What do you mean by Web3 frog?
Yeah. What's that supposed to mean? All of us have done decentralized web things before. So
cool. What else would be useful for someone to know about Goose who's getting started and wanting to know kind of how to get the most out of it?
I think another thing maybe is a few more features. Oh yeah, recipe. Well, okay. Do you want to talk about recipes? Or
Yeah,
do you want
you're gonna do the autonomous
yeah,
stuff.
I was gonna do autonomous and the summarize, just really simple, but like the recipes is a big one. Yeah, I was just gonna quickly say like sometimes people have like a struggle of like adapting to agentic workflows because they're like, I don't want AI to do stuff for me. I was like that at first when Goose came out. I was like, I was good with just ChatGPT suggesting things. I don't want it to actually do it. So there are different like modes, like you can
It's
do
more
like
trust. It's more
yeah,
trust involved.
exactly. So you can either say autonomous, like do whatever, but you can do manual where it like checks with you each time. Like, do you want me to do this? Approve or deny.
Yeah,
Smart.
that's how Warp they have an
Is that
agent.
too?
They have an agent built in that can kind of it'll suggest a command, and then you can say, okay, yes, run this command, and then it will
Yeah.
suggest another one. And I like that.
Cool. Yeah. And then there's the smart only where it'll mostly run everything unless you're like, unless it figures out, oh, I need to remove all the folders or something. It'll be like,
Yeah,
wait,
a
you have to
destructive
do that.
action. Yeah.
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 And then chat only, it doesn't make any action, just chats. And then also, I think one thing people run into a lot is like the context limits of LLMs is like a real struggle for them. So they'll like have a really long running session and they'll struggle with that. So like there's like a little summarize like button here. So it'll like summarize the conversation and like shorten the
And then you
context.
can like start a new session with the summary.
Or you could stay within that session.
Okay.
So I think this shortened it from, oh, I didn't even show you. So maybe this right here, I've used only 3%. Damn, I want something that.
Okay, that's a cool feature. I like that it actually shows you what percentage of your context window you used up. Because this is definitely something that I think of as like a pro tip that I always tell people is don't ever get into a really long conversation with an L. The longer you talk to it, the stupider it gets.
Yeah.
It's not an intuitive thing when you first start using them.
Exactly. So yeah, there's like lots of different tips to making it shorter, and that's like one of them. Or yeah, you could just go to a new session and like what Ebony was saying, storing the information in like memory, and then being like, remember I said this. What did he say?
He said it's like don't get into a long argument with your girl. The longer the argument goes on,
okay, Eric probably does feel that way about me. I just want to keep the argument going. Like
me too. You know what I hate like about arguments? Like when the argument's like all done, disagreement, whatever, and then I'll be like in the shower and I'm like, wow, I should have said this.
Right.
Argue all over again. This would have been
I'm the same. Like I'll get pissed all over again. We already said sorry, and I'm like, and you know another thing.
That this part doesn't make any sense.
But I'll let Ebony talk about recipes because I think that's like one of the coolest.
Yeah. So we have this thing called recipes, and essentially you're making an agent from your session, and this is how you can share your sessions with other people. So like say you and like Goose have like a really good thing going, and you're like, wait, this could be useful to somebody else, or like maybe another team member or whatever. You can create a agent, or that could be shared with somebody else. They'll have access to. So basically, there's a few things you could do. So you can create instructions. That's what you have to create, though. It needs to define the agent's behavior and like its capabilities and stuff. And then also you could give it prompts. Like in the beginning when Rizel opened up Goose, it had those little bubbles where it was like, make a snake game or whatever to help you get started. And when you share like an agent or a recipe or a session, so to speak, you can also put like little prompts there for the person that's entering it so they know how to get started talking to the agent. And then you have like different, that's the activities. Sorry, those are the activities are the little bubbles. But then the prompt, you can like have an automatic prompt where the agent will just start getting into the workflow that you're sharing, or the user can like start speaking to it. But I think it's really powerful because like I said, you can share your session, but they also have access to all the tools that you have open. So like say you created, I don't know, you automated some workflow with Goose and you use maybe 3 tools. When you share it with me or whoever through that link, I'll have access to all of those tools as well in that exact like session.
Yeah, and the next release is coming out with scheduled. Sorry,
yeah.
Scheduled
so
recipes.
Even cooler. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or you can run them on like a cron job. Like I'm waiting for that. I really want it.
Agreed.
Man, so to me, it seems like Goose is really doing a lot in terms of bringing together everything that MCP is actually promising, but is not entirely delivering by itself. Because not that it's, let me rephrase that. MCP
I was like spicy.
well, no, it's not what I mean though, because what Goose does wouldn't be possible without MCP also.
Yeah.
So MCP, the promise of it is that it connects everything and it creates this kind of integrated thing that lets everything talk to everything. But it's at the point now, because it's so new, it's not clear how do you actually use it? How do you get the right MCP servers and clients? How do you connect those together? Whereas Goose does all that for you. So Goose does that last part where it actually brings together all the MCP servers to do useful shit for you, which unless you're a developer right now, you can't really do that without coding a whole bunch of stuff to connect MCP servers together with them. So that's kind of what I'm getting right now, is that all the stuff that people are telling me I can do with MCP, but I find actually very challenging, you can do in seconds with Goose. So I'd say Goose is awesome is what I'm saying.
I'm glad that's the takeaway.
Another thing. Yeah. Oh, what were you saying? MCP registry.
The MCP registry will be a big shit.
Yeah, I think our team is working on that. Not our particular team, but people within Block, they're working on that with GitHub. Sorry, you were saying something, Ebony.
I was, but it's gone now.
But Goose is probably created before MCP was even released.
Yeah.
Actually, that's true.
We got excited with the ability of the MCP. We're like, oh shoot, Goose is gonna be like super Goose.
Yeah. We contributed to the spec, and we were like, let's build the MCP client. Like, we had like it was built on Python at first, and then we're like, let's move this to Rust and make it cool and everything.
Yeah, no, this is dope. I saw there's actually also a Google Maps extension, because that's one of the things. Getting all the Google stuff will be useful, because one thing I like doing is looking for like restaurants in the area, and I want to give it like an address and have it check for like places in like a 3-mile radius, like those kind of things. So that's something I'm just like kind of looking at what other stuff Goose connects to, and I'm like, oh, that could be a fun thing for me to try out. So yeah, no, this is awesome. I'm super into this.
Yeah, I just like a website that I go to when I want to look for like new MCP servers, Glama or Glamma.ai. I just shared it in our private chat. I'm not able to comment on it. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's where I look, because when I want to like pick a new like server to play around with, I'll go on there, so it has like little report cards and stuff. Oh, nice result.
Hell yeah. I did not know about this. Thank you for sharing this.
Oh, great. Like, this is a great directory. If you want to test out different MCP servers, and as Goose is an MCP client, all of these should work fine with Goose. But what I really like is the report card there, like how you see how it has the greens across. What they do for you is they kind of do like the heavy lifting of making sure it's safe. Obviously, still do your own due diligence and make sure that the server is safe. But this is like a good leg up. And whenever any new code gets pushed to the GitHub repo, they rerun these tests to make sure it actually works. It actually does what it says it's going to do and nothing more than that. And then what kind of licensing does it have? So this is one of my favorite directories.
Great. And then generally, are there other resources on MCPs either of you want to recommend? I would start with check out Dev and I's stream we just did. I'll drop a link to that.
We also have like a lot of like on YouTube, we have a lot of, we call them plug and play shorts, where you could look up different tutorials on how to access different MCP servers. So that could be a good resource. But did you want to learn like how to make an MCP server? Like, what exactly did you want to learn about MCPs? That might be easier for me to then give you.
Yeah, this is a question from Learner. So if you want to be a bit more specific, Learner,
point you in the right direction.
Your laptop's dying. Oh no.
I came back in between. She was talking. I grabbed the charger and everything.
Yeah, I thought it disappeared.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's dying. It's like at 1%. That's gonna be so bad.
I'm gonna link to all of our tutorials.
Oh yeah.
That cover different MCP servers to get you guys started. If you wanna jump right into different ones, we have so many right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at just the top weekly downloads on Glamma. Is a lot called just like fetch MPC server that everybody's just like letting you fetch web content.
Yeah. I believe we have
a lot of Playwright too.
Yeah, we have tutorials on fetch and
Playwright.
Yeah, Playwright.
building is certainly one thing, but not just yet. Starting from the basics and then moving up to building your own. They said thank you.
A blog that I can also share that goes like it explains MCP and like the ecosystem and what's going on, and it's like a visual guide that I think is a good starting point. I'll share that now.
Yeah, that was a good one that you wrote.
Yeah, I feel like that would be good.
Whoa, I can't spell visual. There we go.
Yeah, I like blocks. Block has always had good docs. Last time you were on Rizel, we were going through Block's docs. And
it's our team.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it's really I really like what Block does. I've been very impressed every time I've seen this stuff. So y'all are killing it.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
Cool. I don't know if I have anything else.
Let's just freestyle. Anything else in AI you're interested in? Other projects doesn't have to be related to Goose at all.
Are there projects I'm interested in? Not off the top of my head that I can think of, and I feel so bad saying that out loud.
No, it's cool. It sounds like you.
I like Cursor. Sorry,
you like Cursor?
Yeah,
okay.
But I like Goose better. I don't know.
No, I mean, because you're in a place where you're getting to work on a tool that is both exciting but also personally useful. So you're getting to actually get the use out of the thing. You're kind of it's a really good place to be in as a DevRel, because you're actually being honest. Because there's so many DevRels, and I've been one of them who has gone out and tried to advocate for a tool you don't even think is very good.
Yeah, I agree. I think I was like getting into different AI tools, and then like Goose just started getting better and better, and I started contributing, and then I'm like, I'm gonna stick here. I like
and
it.
it provides the interface into a lot of the new tools, because just all the stuff it can do, just what you showed me today, like if you wanted to just try out, like I saw, like 11 Labs is a good example. This is another one I saw you had a tutorial on.
Watch that short by Ebony. It's so good. 11 Labs, it's so good. I wish I could play it, but the sound wouldn't come out.
Yeah, so I've been getting into text to speech for 2 reasons, totally separate from each other. I really like now, because we can generate all this text, I can create like my own like audiobook essentially. I use like deep research, and I'll have it like give me a report, and then I'll turn it into audio, and it can go to like 1 to 2 hours in length, because it will write you really like well-written, long, lengthy answers. And then I'll be like, okay, like ChatGPT just wrote me this epic report that's like 20 pages. I don't have the time to sit down and read it, but I can now listen to it and just bring it into like my podcast listening kind of flow. So I'm getting into text to speech for that reason. And then also I have a friend who started, he's a friend. He used to be, he's my best friend. We were in a band together back in college, and he started writing scripts because he works for this is super specific, but he works for his family's farming machinery company in the Central California. And he created a sci-fi show where all of his family members are all characters in the show, and they work on a ship, and it's like kind of like his family's business, but it's like a sci-fi kind of like thing. So anyway, he was telling me about it, and I'm like, dude, we could turn this into an actual show with AI now.
Yeah.
Like the technology exists, and and it would cost millions of dollars to make a TV show like that, just a year or 2 ago. So, but the voices is the hardest part, because the characters have to sound like interesting. They have to sound like they have personality. They have to sound like they have emotion, and that's still really hard to do. So I'm trying to get into more speech to text stuff to try and figure out how do you really like get that last extra mile of like creating a actual useful voice track that you could put in a show.
Yeah, Ebony, the ones you did, I mean, I never used 11 Labs MCP, but they had emotion to me. Like, it's such a cute short, because she starts off talking and she's like, what if you could have AI, and then the AI takes over the script, and then she brings another AI, and he's like, wait, we're already doing that. And it's like funny, like they had emotion to me. So
can you drop a link to that in the private chat and I'll share it?
I think did I? No, I didn't think I had shared something.
Yeah, you dropped a bunch of block docs, which I'm now.
So at the top of those docs, you can actually access the short. There's like a little. Let me go to the.
I'll show you.
Screaming
at me here, and then you.
Got it.
Yeah. So, and within the tutorial, there's the demo right here.
Let me share the link for it. 11 Labs. Here it is. Where are we? I've lost us. Okay,
Yeah, let me. This is a lot of links today. I'm just gonna open up my YouTube and drop all these in the YouTube description, so they'll be here after the fact as well.
Okay, I shared the YouTube link too, directly to it. But yeah, most of I think all of our tutorials, you'll find like a little YouTube short at the top.
Yeah.
Demonstrating the tutorial.
How many people do DevRel Block?
Our team kind of grew recently.
Yeah. What is it?
Oh, how many? I don't know. Okay, me, you, Angie, Ebony. Oh, sorry. I'll let you count because I just counted you twice.
Okay. Me, Angie, 8, 7.
Yeah, maybe.
Cool.
Did you count Jordan? There's some.
No, I didn't.
So
It's probably like 12.
Yeah, that's like our open source.
Yeah.
Are you hiring?
Are we?
Let's look though. Let's go on Block.
Yeah.
What are our open positions? Careers. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff open, but for DevRel, I don't think so. Let's see.
Okay.
It's definitely not for DevRel.
Yeah, we have
St. Louis.
too much, maybe.
Weather sirens just went off in my town.
Oh no.
That's okay. We had. I don't know if you heard about the crazy tornadoes that hit like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
No.
Fucked up one of my friends' houses, but they're okay.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad they're okay, but their house. What's that?
That's
This was so fun, Anthony. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, I love this. Happy to have you back on anytime. Any kind of final parting words or things you want to share? And yeah, I'm totally safe learner. Don't worry.
Try Goose. I'm just kidding. I'm stop. Thank you for having us, Anthony. That's my final words. Sorry, go ahead, Ebony.
Saying download Goose now. Oh yeah, same sentiment. Thank you for having us. This was a really fun talk. I enjoyed it. Yeah. And thank you, audience. You guys were great too.
Yeah, thanks, learner. Thanks, Dev. We had some other people earlier. Tortoises. Sweet. Cool. And then something that I do, I run all these through auto show, so I'll share with you guys the summary of the stream we just did in like an hour or two.
Oh, love that. Perfect.
Yeah. All right, cool. And then why don't you just both share your socials, like for your individual accounts?
Yeah. Mine is. I'll go.
Sorry, I keep talking over you. Black Girl Bikes.
It's okay. Mine is just Ebony Lewis or Ebony.Lewis. Like, that's where you'll find me. My government name.
On like on X.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think it's Ebony J. Lewis on X. But let me share it.
Ebony J. There we go. Okay, yeah, because I wasn't originally following you, and I first found your LinkedIn, so now I got you on X. Cool.
Yeah, J. Lewis, Ebony J. Lewis. Cool.
And then let me just drop these into the YouTube description.
Am I seeing you at KCDC?
No, this sucks.
When is KCDC?
Kansas City Developer Conference?
No. When is it? No, I know what it is. I live in St. Louis. It's the only conference I would feasibly go to. So
it might be
when is it?
Yeah, Dev, you tell us. I didn't apply to that much conferences because
it looks like it's in August.
Oh, okay.
August 14th to 15th.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all I know is every time I go there, it's super hot and I'm sweating.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dude, Midwest is hot as crap.
Oh,
so which of you are going to be there?
No, I usually go.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. None of us. I got a baby recently and I just didn't apply to stuff.
Yeah, no, I was seeing that. Congrats also.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah, we can probably close it up here then. Sweet. This is super fun. Thanks everyone for watching, and we will catch you all next time.
Thanks.